Hello, I am Jonathan Crook, Technical Consultant for HP. In this video, I'm going to do an overview of HP Security Manager. Today, I'm using HP Security Manager 3.14 in Windows Server 2022. Security Manager is a software solution that is designed to ultimately take care of the security settings on HP printers and copiers automatically for you. That way you don't have to worry about doing it and keeping up on it and stuff like that. So this is an on-premise solution, but as you can see here in the screen, it is browser-based. So the nice thing about this solution is that while it's on-premise, this can still technically be installed in something like Amazon Web Services, as long as the software solution can actually talk to the printers themselves. So with the solution and how it operates is, like I said, is it can be a set it and forget it kind of solution because everything can be automated. Everything from discovering devices to pushing out and assessing policies on printers, fixing printers, even things like reporting back and stuff like that. And so I'm going to do a quick overview of what you're looking at on the screen here and give you some ideas. And then if you'd like to see more information around it, we are going to be uploading other videos as well, or you can also reach out to your HP representative. So on the dashboard here, we can see the status of some of the devices from the last assessment here, right? And so being this is my VM, I've kind of set it up to where you can kind of see I've got a little bit of everything, right? I've got past, which is green, to high risk, a medium risk, right? These are all printers and what kind of risk they have in the current environment. Now, it's important to note that these risks are set by the customer, right? So this is not something that HP sets in stone. These can be fully customized based on the settings themselves. And then when we come up here to historical fleet status, this shows us what the fleet has looked like over a given period of time. So which really helps with this is that you can actually show that you're maintaining the security posture in your printing environment. So if you have to do any kind of reporting back to a third party company, this is a great solution because it can actually show them, look, we've kept and maintained security posture. Discovering devices is done like most things in the world today, right? Going out, reaching out through the IP addresses. This can be done through a range. This can be done through singular IP addresses, but the system will go out and look for devices. From here, devices can be grouped, and you can see that here on the left, but you can also have auto grouping. So devices that fit a certain criteria, you can have them as they're discovered automatically put into a group. So in this case here, this auto group is just if it says color in the name, the model name right here, then it will add those printers to that group. So you can have as many manual groups as you want. In most cases, 10 auto groups is the max just to keep the system in check. That way it's not being overly taxed. Policies are set up here, and you can have multiple policies inside of an environment. So if you've got policies for HR versus finance, right, you can actually have different policies and you can name them accordingly. And creating policies is very straightforward. Just clicking on new policy, coming up here, and giving it a name. And then from here, it's going to open a window and basically you can start searching for these settings, right? Now, just to give you an idea, when we come in and we look at something, I'm going to search for TLS real quick. And we are going to go here. And when we look at TLS and I say this is the setting I want to play with, if we remember at the beginning of the video, I talked about severity. This is where you get to choose what severity or how important is that to you guys. Does it need to be remediated or not? Does the system get to fix the setting automatically, or do you just want to know about it? And then does the machine actually support or not support this setting in particular, right? So the system will report back on all the details when it comes to those policies. Now, with that being said, one of the unique things about Security Manager that you'll find with enterprise class HP devices is enterprise class devices have what it's called an instant on technology. When you install an enterprise class device into your network for the first time, it actually is designed to go out and look for Security Manager. And it's looking for a host name. I'm not going to talk about it today, but in that instance here, you can see I've got this option here, and this is the policy for instant on. So anytime a brand new printer, enterprise printer, hits the network, this policy will automatically be set to the device outside of the normally scheduled tasks that are taking place. So again, being able to automate it, hits the network, talks to security manager, potentially gets grouped in a certain group, and then security manager will push this base template down to the machine, all without any user intervention. All you had to do was actually install it on the network. Tasks are showing you what has been done or what is going to be done in the environment here. I don't have any scheduled tasks because this is my VM, but you can see here there's a frequency and when the next run is going to be, right? So again, you can automate these tasks to run periodically in your environment to make sure they're following your policies. Alerts are here. These are the kind of alerts that you could say, okay, if you see any devices on the network that haven't been assessed, we need to be alerted, right? So there's different ways and different alerts that you can set up depending on what it is, right? So let's say maybe the assessment status is high risk. We don't want any high risk in the environment. So anything that's greater than 1%. So if I have any risk at all that's high, I want to know about it, right? So you can create subscriptions that automatically send you alerts when these criteria have been met inside the system. And then the last one here is reporting. And reporting is basically those reports that get sent out. You can see here we've got quite a few options, including executive summary, which looks like this. So you could have reports scheduled periodically to send out to the CEO, the managers, whomever you may want. But ultimately, again, these reports can be set up to be automatically sent out periodically. So as you can see here with Security Manager, right, there's a lot of good features built into it. It can be fully automated. It can constantly assess the environment without you having to come in here and run things on your own. So the only time that you would ultimately, if it's fully automated, the only time you ever have to come back in is if you need to update a policy, right? You guys change your policies once a year inside your environment. So I hope this has been informative for you. Have a great day.